Venus. Venus looks like the friendly one, named after the goddess of love, shining brighter than anything else in the night sky. And it kills you faster than any other planet in the solar system. The surface pressure is about 92 times Earth's, the same crush you would feel 900 meters under the ocean, and the temperature sits around 465 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead. You are being flattened and baked in the same instant. And even if we assume you have a hypothetical indestructible suit, the famous sulfuric acid clouds are already dissolving it for later. You are gone before the acid is relevant. On Venus, the pressure hugs you until you stop. The moon introduces the problem you will keep meeting today. Vacuum, which just means no air pressure at all. Step outside without a suit and you do not explode. You do not freeze instantly either. Your blood simply starts unloading its oxygen, and after about 15 seconds of useful consciousness, the lights go down. Full stop somewhere around the 2-minute mark. So the good news is you won't explode. That is the complete list of good news. Mercury runs on the same vacuum clock as the moon. The vacuum is what kills you. The temperature just decides what happens afterwards. Daytime side, around 430 degrees, and your remains roast. Night side, around -180, and they freeze dry. Mercury does not change whether you die. It just handles presentation. Although, one strange note, there are craters at Mercury's poles where the sun never reaches, and ice hides inside them. The planet closest to the sun keeps a freezer. Hold that thought. Mars is the one we keep talking about moving to, so here is the welcome package. The atmosphere is about 0.6% of Earth's, below what engineers call the Armstrong limit, the pressure where water boils at body temperature, which means the saliva on your tongue starts boiling. Not from heat, from the lack of pressure pushing down on it. Your last sensation on the red planet is your own spit carbonating. After that, the usual vacuum arithmetic, a couple of minutes, mostly unconscious. Earth, surface conditions, survivable, cause of death, statistically, heart disease at around age 73. Frankly, the worst survival time to paperwork ratio on this list. Moving on. Jupiter is the first planet on this list that kills you before you get there. The planet is wrapped in radiation belts, charged particles trapped by a magnetic field 20,000 times stronger than Earth's, and near the inner moons, an unshielded human absorbs a lethal dose in somewhere between minutes and hours, depending on your route. You would die in transit politely in advance to save you the trip. But since that is a boring outcome, let's assume your ship is perfectly shielded and you reach the clouds. There is nothing to stand on down there. Which brings us to Saturn, because Saturn is where the falling problem gets its full showcase. Saturn has no surface. None. You do not land on Saturn, you enter it. First the cloud decks, then thousands of kilometers of thickening hydrogen, the pressure climbing past anything a hull has survived, the temperature rising with it until somewhere far below, what used to be you is compressed into the planet itself. In a suit, the fall alone could last hours. There is no ground, there is no splat. You do not land on Saturn, you become an opinion about Saturn. Uranus adds insult. Cloud top temperatures run near -220 degrees Celsius, among the coldest in the solar system, and spectroscopic studies from 2018 suggest the upper clouds contain hydrogen sulfide. That is rotten egg gas. So you freeze while suffocating in something that smells like a prank. Science still cannot confirm much about Uranus. It can confirm the smell. Neptune should be sleepy. It gets 900 times less sunlight than Earth, and somehow it runs the fastest winds ever measured on a planet, around 2,000 kilometers per hour, faster than the speed of sound where you are standing. Nobody fully knows where that energy comes from. You are not so much killed by Neptune as dispersed by it. The furthest planet from the sun, and somehow the most motivated. And then there is the thing all of them orbit. You do not die on the sun, you die near the sun. Thousands of kilometers before the surface, which sits around 5,500 degrees. The radiant heat has already taken you apart atom by atom. There is nothing to land on and nothing left to land. Milliseconds of relevance on an object that does not register you at all. The sun is not hostile. You are just very, very small. We did not cover Pluto because Pluto is not a planet anymore. And honestly, it has been through enough. But picture it anyway. Minus 230 degrees, sunlight taking 5 hours to arrive, and a sky still absolutely full of stars. You would last about a minute out there. It would be a hell of a minute. Because that is the strange part of all of this. The universe built you out of the same stuff it kills you with. And out of 9 worlds, it gave you exactly one that holds you gently. You are standing on it. If you want to see the worlds that are even worse than these, the planets outside our solar system, that video is next. Tell me which one to take.